Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of ChadFi. And so here we are, we start on the dashboard. And as you'll see, we got gainers and losers and just some of the trending coins up here. You got the Bitcoin dominance, Ethereum dominance, fear and greed, all pretty self-explanatory. And here you've got some smart money flows, which means what are smart money buying and selling right now. And you can choose between these following chains. So far, we're going to be adding more. You can choose between different types of smart money, which we'll go into another time. You can filter by sectors or narrative, shall we say. You can also sort these by volume, market cap, in and out, or net flows. So whichever makes sense for you, so you can kind of see what is being sold and bought the most in the last 24 hours and by percentage. You can filter by a whole bunch of different ways here. And then you can see here what are the top held tokens. Currently this is showing ETH, but again, we'll be adding more chains. So you can again sort by the number of holders. So currently the most held token on ETH, which has a pretty high percentage share, is Uniswap, which makes sense as it's currently ETH season, right? So you can see that, yeah, most of the top holdings are the big DeFi, and this is your RWA. Anyhow, then you have a live view here of smart money DEX trades. And if you're wondering what is smart money, they're generally, to keep it simple, they are generally the elite traders, right? The people who have good track records and have a proven high win rate or profit and loss. We can go into that another time. And so over here, you can see that you can search any token you want. And then let's go to spoon-fed setups, which essentially shows you some setups that our AI has deemed interesting. So for example, let's just pick one. We'll go to Apu. And you can see there's the signal right there. I've added my own indicators here, relative strength and stochastic, which are momentum indicators. And you can see here that this actually looks like a pretty decent setup. You could say perhaps that low is far, but maybe to be safe, you could say, all right, I'm going to enter here. Yeah, actually, that's only a 6%. So maybe you'd make it even a little wider. Give it a nice, comfortable stop loss. If you want to be really safe, maybe it's like 10%. Because obviously there are no guarantees, right? Especially in crypto. The markets are very volatile, so you got to be prepared, right? And when you zoom out and look at like what did this chart do in the past, you're at the bottom of the range right now, right? It's been recovering, but you can see that the previous all-time high is way up here. Who knows? Honestly, like in a few months from now, these entries could potentially be generational entries. Apu is one of the, you can, if you want to know more about it, you can check these out. And there's deep analysis, which I'm going to open in another window actually. And I will run it while I'm doing, so I'm going to generate. And now the agent is going out and pulling a whole lot of information, and it's going to come out with a report for us. And so we can check out here the holders. So you can see who has the top percentage of ownership, value, the change in the last 7 days or 1 day. So this is indicating that this guy has sold 6.32 million tokens, but over the last 30 days, he's added 1.38 billion tokens. And you can see the whales or the exchanges, public figures, and smart money. Then you've got the P&L leaderboard, which shows you who are the top traders who made This guy made 101,000. He's got a pretty good realized P&L. And so then you can go and check out more about this particular wallet if you wanted to. I won't go too far into things like that, but let's go check out still generating. So let's go back to the terminal. And if you wanted to trade, you could do that right here, right? And you can ask the agent things. You can click what can you do? And the agent can tell you things about this particular token and the contract and a whole lot of other things. You can check out yourself. You can chat with him. Yeah, obviously this is a chatbot. There you have it. Honestly, this is a pretty sweet looking trade. Nothing is ever going to be 100%. So you could, yeah, like I showed you earlier, you could put your entry roughly right here and have a nice 10% stop loss. And there you go. This is a very small coin, not like a micro cap, but 80 million market cap. Going into the silly season is not, you wouldn't be surprised to see this thing. Look at the pumps it's done before. This is a easy 30%. But if you zoom out further and you look at like from here or here, there's your almost 2x. This was a clean, this must have been a 2x, yeah. And again, these things can go real far. Always good to zoom out as far as you can just to see, get your lay of the land and see where you're at in the grand scheme. You can, this is very basic stuff, but you could see some kind of a support level here that it seems to be respecting, so that when you zoom out, so, you know, you might, it seems to always keep tapping, right? So you could also say, oh, you know what, I don't want to enter yet. And maybe you want to wait until one of those moments that it comes and taps here, because that seems to be a consistent thing, right? So that would be your safest, but that's why you have your invalidation. And yeah, now let's go check out analysis. So it gives you a summary, a little bit of fundamentals, tells you about some smart wallets that are holding this token and the total invested. And then gives you some social media scores and shows you who are the big KOLs that are following this token, APU. Get more of an executive summary of what the token has done, market cap, movements in the last 30 days, whatever. Liquidity pool, fundamentals. And then it can even sometimes give you a strategy for how to enter and exit, right? And so some risk management, and then the total outlook. There you have it. I'm going to stop there.